Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be going over some brand new LEGO Ninjago 2021 set names. These were found by NinjaWhip on Instagram, so I'll be sure to link their account down below and the website that they found these set names from as well if you would like to check that out. Now there are 9 of them, 3 of which are for Legacy, and then the other 6 are for Season 15, so we're going to cover all of those in my videos. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions and theories about what these could be, and without further ado, let's get straight into it, starting with the Legacy sets. Alright, so to kick off the Legacy sets here, we're going to start with set number 71734, Kai Slasher Bike. This one is a 4+ set and will include 59 pieces. And for this one, of course, previously in 2019, we received Kai's Blade Cycle in a Legacy set with Zane's Snowmobile. So we've already received a version of that original build from 2012, but there is the possibility that we could wind up receiving an alternate 4+ version of it as well, just on its own. That's definitely a possibility, just using the original Legacy figure, or there is potential that we could receive this Skybound set as a Legacy version here, which is set number 70600, the Ninja Bike Chase. Now I know this set includes Nia with it as well, but we could just see them taking Kai's bike design there and just putting it into a 4+ set. There is potential for that. Now I would lean more towards them just doing a 4+ version of Kai's Blade Cycle, but be sure to let me know your thoughts down below, or if I missed any of Kai's other vehicles as well that could be potentially put in this set. Then the next Legacy one that we have here is set number 71739. This one is the Ultrasonic Assault Vehicle. This one will include 729 pieces, and of course, for this one, we could potentially be seeing 2 different Legacy versions here, or a combination. The first one, of course, could possibly be a 2012 version now, or a new version of the 2012 set number 9449, the Ultrasonic Raider, because of course, that's an original Ninjago vehicle that's pretty iconic, and they kind of skipped over it when they were doing the initial 2019 wave of Legacy sets, which primarily covered the 2012 set. So we could wind up seeing that now, but we could also potentially wind up seeing the Ultra Stealth Raider, which would almost line up better with the timeline since they seem to be transitioning into doing Possession Legacy sets now. So this could potentially line up a little bit. I know it's more of a Day of the Departed set, at least the original version, but we could potentially wind up seeing this, or just a mix match of just the Ultrasonic Raider just as a whole with the Stealth Raider kind of included as well. So who knows what we might wind up seeing. It is, to note, a lower piece count than both of those previous sets, so that is definitely quite interesting, or at least it's a lower piece count than the Ultra Stealth Raider, I know of that. So who knows what sort of size we could be looking at. It's still going to be quite substantial, but I'll be interested to see it once it's revealed. Then the final Legacy set that we have here, and then we'll move on to the Season 15 sets, is set number 71749, the Ninja Assault Ship Final Flight, and this one will include 147 pieces, which is honestly a very small piece count considering what I'm thinking this could be a Legacy version of, and that could be potentially set number 70738 from 2015, the Final Flight of the Destiny's Bounty, and this one included a whopping 1,253 pieces, so I don't know if there's potential that it could wind up being this. Maybe they're just not going to do the Destiny's Bounty, maybe they'll do a scaled down version. I'm not too sure, or maybe I'm just completely off the ball with this one and I'm just missing another set. It could potentially be something else, but it's kind of hard to guess here. This was kind of just the only set that lined up with the naming of this one, so who knows, it could kind of wind up being this, but I'm not too sure, honestly. Let me know your thoughts on this one, but for now, let's move on to the Season 15 sets. Alright, so to get started with the Season 15 sets, we have set number 71750, Lloyd's Hydro Robot, which will include 228 pieces. Of course, I previously covered a few of these Season 15 sets in other videos, and for this one, that is one of the ones that I've already covered, but it's definitely an interesting one. I'll be curious to see the design of this Hydro Robot. It's kind of a new sort of area that Ninjago is going into now with these like water-based vehicles, so I'm interested to see how they wind up turning out, and I'll be curious to see what this one looks like. Then the next one that we have is set number 71752, and what's to note here before I say the set name is that we are missing set number 71751, so I'm not sure what that will wind up being, but we are missing it right now in the count. But for this one, it is the Amphibian Submarine. This one will include 356 pieces, and I'm really interested about this one because I'm assuming it's going to be a villain vehicle. I would assume they're fighting some sort of amphibians. It seems like underwater, so it seems like that would be the vehicle that they are rocking shocking in this villain set, at least is what I'm assuming just from the naming here. Of course, we don't have very much information to go off of for Season 15, but it's definitely a theory that you can kind of talk about, and be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. Next up here, we have set number 71753, the Attack of the Fire Dragon. This one will include 563 pieces, and I had previously gone over this set in a previous video, but we didn't know whether or not it was going to be a legacy set for a version of Kai's original Fire Dragon, or if it was going to be a new set for Season 15, but now it seems like it's basically confirmed to be a Season 15 set, so it's not going to be a remake. It could, of course, just be the return of a previous Fire Dragon that Kai has had, but I'm assuming it'll wind up being a new one, and I'm pretty interested about this one, because it is the Attack of the Fire Dragon, so I'm wondering if it could be an enemy dragon, or if it's going to wind up being Kai's. I'm not honestly too sure, because of course, it could just be Kai riding the dragon and he's attacking the villains, so I'm not too sure how that's going to wind up going down, and it's definitely an odd one for this wave, considering it is sort of a water-themed season from what we can see, with it being a Nia-centric one, so it's interesting to kind of throw in a fire dragon here, but I'll be curious to see how it turns out. Then the next set that we have here is set number 71754, the Water Dragon. This one will include 737 pieces, and I'm very excited by that piece count because I'm really happy that Nia is going to get a fully fledged large dragon within this season, so I'm looking forward to that quite a bit, and I'll be curious to see whether or not the dragon is going to use a molded head or whether or not it will have a brick-built head. I've seen them recently leaning towards more so brick-built heads, so that's what I'm assuming it will wind up being. But you never know at this point, they could only switch it up, and I'll be curious to see if we get any of the villains within this set, because it doesn't really say the Water Dragon is fighting anybody, but I'm assuming there will be some sort of conflict within the set, but it's definitely an interesting one. Now the second last set that we have here is set number 71755, the Temple of the Infinite Sea. This one will include 1,060 pieces, and this is crazy. I'm absolutely so glad that we're getting what I'm assuming is going to be a villain sort of base. That's just kind of what I'm guessing. Of course, it could wind up being that they have to go into the ocean to help save some other people, so we could see a different sort of sea creature race that we wind up seeing within the ocean. So who knows? It's definitely leaving it open for a lot of possibilities. This kind of makes me think of almost like if we had gotten for Master of the Mountain the Shintaro City. So who knows, it could be something similar to that, where we're getting just the people sort of almost like temple below the sea. So I'm interested to wind up seeing how that turns out, and sort of just the design and color scheme of the set. Now the final set that we have here for this video is set number 71756, the Hydro Assault Ship. This one is going to include 1,159 pieces, and of course, this is another set that we already knew about. We were going to be getting a Hydro Bounty set. Of course, that's not what it's titled here, but some of these names might be a little bit off with the translations from the original website, so who knows what the final name could wind up being, but we know what it's meant to be, and I think it's very exciting to get a different form of the bounty. I love seeing how they sort of transform the bounty. I wasn't as excited by the land bounty, but I think that this one has a lot of cool possibilities, because it's going to probably most likely have to be able to go underwater, so it could kind of be similar, taking on some traits of a submarine. So I'm very curious to wind up seeing how that turns out, and I'm very interested to see the final set. Alright, so that's going to conclude this video here for all of the LEGO Ninjago 2021 set names that were revealed, and be sure to let me know all of your thoughts down below on these sets. Which ones are you most excited for? What are you thinking for the legacy sets? Of what other sorts of sets they could be recreating here? If I missed any, be sure to let me know down below, and let me know your thoughts on the Season 15 sets. I know there's not too much you can go off of, because of course, we still haven't even received official photos of the Season 14 sets in full HD, so we're a little bit behind with that, and with the leaks we're a little bit forward. So let me know all of your thoughts on that, and if you did enjoy this video, it would be highly appreciated if you could leave a like, also subscribe as well if you'd like to see my future content. It would be highly appreciated, so thank you so much. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.